everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today on this week's episode with our guest expert series. I'm Michelle Denio. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a business strategist and growth consultant. And today I have Kendra Alley with me with Bar Alley. I'm so excited to talk with her because she is somebody that you guys all are asking me. This is a question I get asked all the time about Instagram. And Kendra has not completely, but I would say almost grown her entire business through the Instagram platform. So I wanted to chat with her because she is just a wealth of knowledge on things that she has done, things that she's tried, things that didn't work, things that are working. And so I'm going to I just want to pass it off to you, Kendra, to introduce yourself, and then we'll just go back and forth, ask a few questions and get some answers.
Sounds good. My name is Kendra Alley. Nice to meet all of you. I started Bar Alley, which is a virtual bar studio 2 years ago. After I had my second son, I am a local bar instructor and I couldn't get out of the house because we were busy and it was a pain in the neck to wake somebody up from a nap, drag them all the way to a studio. And I thought, if I'm teaching and I have this problem, people who are attending, these bar students, definitely have this problem. So I thought one day, I'm just going to host a class on Facebook. And I did, with zero intention of starting a business, but here we are 2 years later, and this is a full-time gig, and I'm just pumping out bar classes, and my goal is to really just expand the bar format to people, to business people who are traveling, to moms who can't get out of the house. Bar studios are expensive. Most bar studios don't have childcare. So it's a limited pool of people who have access to these classes, but not anymore because I am online and you can do it anywhere.
Yeah, it's really an awesome platform. So I know it's a membership style. They can sign up with you as a member. It's monthly. There's a bunch of different packages, and you guys can find all of that package information on the website. But I want to talk about how you grew your business on Instagram. So I know a year ago you and I connected, and you were doing some stuff on Instagram. You were posting on Instagram. You were doing some stuff on your stories. And then all of a sudden things changed and your Instagram just started blowing up. So if you could say what is like one or two things that you really did differently to see that exponential growth, what would they be?
Okay, so my top two things. First, I started most definitely identifying who I was speaking to. So this time last year was before Instagram stories. So if we're talking before that, I was able to communicate with these girls through my feed. I needed to let them know that I was a crazy mom. I needed to let them know that I was also struggling with body issues and I wanted to take the time to myself, but I also had these kids. I also had this household. I'm also very casual. I think people see my presentation of these bar classes and they're like, oh, I could never be like her, but I'm a mess. So I needed to quickly identify and become relatable to them. And I did that before stories launched, giving them little snippets of what my classes are like, little snippets of my children walking down from their nap in the middle of my class in their underwear eating Cheez-Its, things like that they were like, I can do these classes because this is also my life. I also think incorporating my kids into everything that I do, including my husband, kind of on these back shadows of things, made them say, oh, this is really just a girl who's running a business out of her house. And they, as much as I'm supporting them in their fitness journey, they support me equally. So it has most definitely always been this sisterhood friendship that I have back and forth. And I post consistently. I would love to post more consistently. I've learned my time frames. My people are mostly moms, and they can look at Instagram at night when they're done with work and when the kids are in bed. So I get a lot of interaction then. I get a lot of interaction on a Saturday morning when everyone's kind of just relaxing. So I was able to figure out these are the times I should post, which helped tremendously. And then I would start to pull into those suggested feeds, whether people were sharing my stuff, tagging me in it, whether when I was pregnant, a prenatal legging company tagged me in something, and then those girls are like, this is what I'm looking for. So it all did happen. I don't pay for Instagram ads. Nothing is sponsored. It all happened organically from the consistency of me just keeping on trucking. And once Instagram stories launched, that was a huge difference because they can talk to me. We DMs are probably my most active thing on Instagram, whereas my feed is great. People can go back and contact me there, but DMs back and forth, and I won't go to bed until I respond to all of those. So I am really good at that. And I don't know, I'm nothing special, but they're like, thank you for writing me back. Oh my gosh. But that really is what makes this community a solid one, because we can talk back and forth, and I hear them out. I know their struggles, all that kind of thing. So it's just a natural little growth that has spiraled into this controlled chaos.
Yeah, but a couple things that you talked about that I think are really worth pointing out is, one, that you identified exactly who your client was and what they needed from you and what they needed to see. And they needed to understand that as much as your classes are polished and you have this beautiful room and you have it all set up with your, the mic and everything else, but like to see your kids come in and sit on your back while you're doing a plank, I mean, that's what people can relate to, or that you're using a Swiffer sweeper instead of a full-on bar. I mean, I think all of those things are things that are so important because it's what your clients relate to. It's what they can relate to and why you created your business. So from my standpoint, looking at it, how much time do you spend? I mean, I see what you do on your stories and I absolutely love it. And I think other people do, but in my thought, and I've heard this rejection from multiple people, is that you literally have to live your life like behind your camera. Do you feel like you always have your camera on?
No. So I have an iPhone, and it gives you the tally of how much time you spend on your phone. And mine is an average of 3 hours a day, which I think is low for a person who doesn't even run an online business. So I am a big fan of, so things that I post today probably happened yesterday. So
Yeah.
I'm really good at documenting things and putting my phone down. What I am better at is putting it down, and then when the kids go to bed, then I can plug it in. Then I can, set my head straight and put it on a schedule. My Instagram stories are live, so those kind of are happening as
Okay.
the chaos is all around me. But I am really good at that because I don't love being on my phone. I'm not really a social media person. I am by default now because I run this business. And I think it's great to have that connection. I can have a pulse on my bar babes at all times, which is really nice. So I do see the benefit of that. But yeah, so I'm an average of like 3 hours a day, and that's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, when you first think about it, it's like, wow, 3 hours on social media. But the reality is, this is what you're doing to build your business. Like you said, you're not spending money on ads. You're not spending. So this is you trading time for dollars, but it's no different than trading or not trading time for dollars. You're literally just trading your time essentially, versus putting money into ads and getting those cold leads. And then when you do respond to people, I think that that's really important. What you said is that you don't go to bed until your DMs are responded to. And that's really because people come and look at your Instagram and they do look at you as an influencer. So I could see where getting a personalized message back is really it's so touching to people from a consumer standpoint, to know that you've taken the time to care about them enough to answer. One of the other things I noticed that you do a lot, and I'm interested to hear your feedback on how it affected your growth, is that you literally tag almost every, like your outfits of the day. If you have a new food that you like, your green tea, the legging. I mean, like there are so many things that you're tagging, Kalia by Carrie, all of those things, and Lululemon, and all of those big box brands. That, are you getting some feedback from them? And obviously by tagging them, they're promoting you as well. Do you feel, was that a strategy you put in place, or you just tagged somebody because you tagged them because they asked and so you started doing that, or was that intentional strategy?
It's intentional now. At first, I would tag them because I wanted nothing more than to not respond. It's Lululemon 100 times a day on my DMs. So at first I was just like, let me just tag it. I now have a partnership with Lululemon. I have a partnership with Kalia. There are so many things that have come out of me tagging my shoes. it now is a business strategy. So I am at the point where I can try out and test out different things, and then I can choose what companies I want to work with, which is mind-boggling, because before, anyone who would approach me, yes, I want to do that. Yes, I'm into it. Now I can say, you know, I'm a big person on how my leggings fit. So if I don't love them, I don't feel like I'm doing the bar babes justice by saying, yeah, these are good, just so I can have a collaboration. Tagging is number one because most people want to know. So if they like it, it's going to catch their eye and they're going to, oh, this is Lululemon.
Exactly.
And now I'm getting more specific on who I like to work with because of the product, how the fit is, those types of things. So I do a lot of collaborations with apparel companies because I'm in new workout outfits every time I film, and that's basically my wardrobe. So I can kind of be picky with them, which is really, really exciting. Especially when I was pregnant, I was trying all these different leggings. I would pick my favorite ones. One thing I would love to be better at is reaching out to those brands. Currently, they're all reaching out to me, but I can't imagine what I'm missing or who isn't seeing something that maybe would work for their brand, and a good collaboration to be able to reach out to them. So that's my 2019 next step goals. But yes, it's definitely intentional, and I pride myself on really only talking about or recommending things that I use and things that work for me. And I'll keep it honest. So if I do love the shirt fit of somewhere, but I don't love the pants, I'll let you guys know. So that's something that I think is pretty cool, because I'm trustworthy. I'm not just gonna, you know, throw a brand out there.
Right, absolutely. And it's something that people then come to you as a resource. And so even for your kids, I know that it's not just about the apparel. I know if there's something, I've reached out to you a couple times when I've like, what was that you did?
Yes.
Or what was the boxes, like the STEM boxes that you bring for your kids and stuff. So being able, you're not just a resource to your bar babes in a sense of how you can help them get fit and different nutritional and fitness in the bar and all of that, that you've become a resource to them and built a relationship that you give them a lifestyle. And so they feel connected to you in that way. So how much of your business can you say is from Instagram right now?
So I was thinking of that earlier a lot, but I'll tell you what Instagram has done for me more so is my retention. And I have 87% retention rate. And I believe that that is because they know who I am. I have a pulse on them. And so they stick around. So they're my friend. So it's like, I'm your friend and you don't show up to my bar class here, you know, down the road. So the retention has been key for me because I don't have a lot of turnover searching for a whole new market. We're really, it's like a sisterhood. I don't really know how to describe it, but I think we respect one another. We kind of look towards one another. They help me as much as I'm helping them. The retention has been a huge success, particularly since Instagram Stories has started.
Because of the community. So it's not necessarily just the membership, and this is just like a gym membership, but it's the fact that like going to the gym and actually seeing your buddies there and having that group of supportive, amazing people surrounding you. So your retention really has come from the community that's centered around. I know you share, people tag you in Bar Alley or with their kids, and people love to see that, because it's not just you sharing your story. It's other moms sharing their story. It's other moms sharing their kids and different resources, or tried the green tea and loved it. And so then that helps you create this community, and people thrive on community. So I think that that's an important thing to really think about, is that it's not just that you're not out there trying to find new clients. The new clients at this point are coming to you, but you're retaining 87% retention rate due to all from an organic way of Instagram. That's just amazing. So let me ask you, if you could, like, what is one thing, if somebody was really truly looking to grow their business and wanted to use Instagram as their tool, out of all of the things that you have done now, you know, I know you've been at this for a couple of years, but somebody new coming into the market, what is one strategy you would tell them to do on Instagram?
find your timeline. So on Mondays, I know what time I need to post. I know that nothing gets accomplished if I post on a Thursday. So I don't even waste my time on a Thursday. I'm still active on stories. So really being able to identify the time frames, Saturday mornings before people go out for the day, Sunday nights once everybody's watching TV. So I can tell you exactly when I should be posting every day, and the content, whether it's a great one where people have seen pictures of my family, but I'm not really great at taking pictures of my family. So I know what I need to do. But also for people who still follow me but may have never tried bar, they want to see what my classes are like. So I make sure to always have videos, not just still frames. And something that I've started recently are sharing comments that these girls, my active bar babes, had talked about the class, like, oh my gosh, my legs are killing me, this was awesome. So I don't even really market myself. I'm just like, boop, I put that up there and they can tell them about it. That's been really, really helpful. And consistency on stories. I have thousands and thousands of views on my stories, and I might not have as many likes on my feed. But it does translate into dollars for me. Even if you don't see those likes, that can sometimes be discouraging. So don't worry about it. Just keep going with the schedule, keep going with the consistency, because they are watching. They just might not be double tapping. So
double tapping. And so with the stories, I know one of your biggest milestone was getting to that 10,000 followers so that you could do that swipe up. How has having that swipe up feature, how has that affected your business?
It's tremendous. Now, most of the girls will stream my classes on a computer or on their TV, but the swipe up feature for my free trial is instantaneous. So if I talk about it, somebody might write a post about, I'm 3 days into the free trial. I'll screenshot that. I'll add it to my story with a swipe up feature, and I will get 25 or 30 within 30 minutes of people wanting to try it out. So at least they are there, they sign up and they're committed, and then they can go back and log into their account and things like that. So the instant response there has been huge, even though realistically they're not going to start a class in the middle of their workday on a Wednesday. But knowing that they have committed and they're signing up and they're ready to get that ball rolling, particularly with that free trial, has been awesome. And then of course the goal is for them to roll over and sign up on a membership plan. So
right, so you can capture that attention immediately before the kids come in, and before somebody's got a chance to get distracted, they can immediately swipe up and they're in. So having that feature. Now, do you use a hashtag strategy, or again, I know you've worked really hard on your organic reach. So when you post on your feed, you said timing was really important, which I believe in, and knowing when your audience is there. But do you feel like there was a certain hashtag strategy that went along with that, or really just the fact that you're so consistent on your stories, which encourages them to look at your feed and all of that?
I think it's a little bit of a game. I sometimes do hashtags and I sometimes don't, to see if there is a difference. I do think hashtagging will pull me into that suggested feed more often. And because I'm such a clear-cut bar person, anybody that is searching bar alley is going to come up on that feed, especially with a hashtag. So I am a believer in hashtags, and I have in my notes, that little app in my notes, I'll follow some yoga brands or some yogis of Instagram, and I'll see, oh, they added this hashtag. Maybe I should try bar addict. I've never used that one. And so I'll just add that to my notes. So you can only post 30 hashtags in one shot. I probably have 70. Boy mom, fitspiration, all those types of things. So depending on what the post is, I'll pick and choose which ones I think will be fitting for that particular post. So they're not always the same, but I do pull from like a pool of ones that seem to be active and not so specific. So fitness has millions and millions of tags. Fitness is very generic, but everybody is looking at those specific, as opposed to me saying, bar mom who has 3 boys. You know, that's too
Right.
specific for anybody really to care about. So more general hashtags tend to work well for me.
Okay, and so with that hashtag, because I know sometimes with the hashtag you can get a really popular hashtag and then you get the follow, unfollow, follow, unfollow. So by getting those followers and then giving them something consistent to look at in your stories. So there's all of that as far as, again, the strategy there. It's not just, you can't just do one thing. You can't just rely on hashtags. You can't rely on your feed. You can't rely on just stories. You really have figured out how to encompass all of them so that you can work Instagram organically.
And the follow unfollow thing is kind of the nature of the beast. People are doing that so that they can grow their Instagram following. I don't pay too much attention of who is starting to add, because it goes up and down. If those people follow you and you don't respond to their follow within however many days, they'll fizzle out. They aren't my market anyway. So I'd rather keep that open for somebody who truly is looking for something that I offer, as opposed to just, a stand-in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, it's about making sure that your followers are that market that you really can serve. And it's not about these big numbers. You want big numbers of people that are truly your market of people.
Right. Exactly.
Well, this has been so much information. I mean, we could probably talk about Instagram and how you've grown it you've done such an incredible job. If you guys are not following Bar Alley, I will tag it here at the end as well as in the notes. But if you're not following her, she really is a wealth of information. If there's any product you're looking for, she's tried it, she's been there. If she likes it, it's definitely, and I think that that's such an amazing resource for, to know. I know I do it all the time. I'm like, well, let me just look at Kendra's because she's got, I know for a fact she posted about something a while back. Let me just ask her. And so I think that that's so important, because who's got time to read, if you've taken the time and you know that you're super specific on that, I think that's so important, as well as the way you support and do all of that with your followers and make sure that they understand that you don't have a team of people that are answering for you. It's you behind the phone on your Instagram, and that's so important. And I think that a lot of people, if you're looking for a shortcut or you're looking to put a bot in place or some kind of software that's going to magically grow your business, it's not sustainable. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I really wanted to interview you, Kendra, is because what you've done is so authentic, it's so real, and it's so organic. And that is truly where the magic is when it comes to Instagram. Yes, you can grow big numbers with bots. Yes, you can get that swipe up feature. But again, they're not your target market, and they're not the people that need to hear from you. So really making sure that you can put a strategy in place and consistency. I mean, this did not happen for you overnight. I mean, you've been at this, what, a year, 2 years now?
Yep.
And now, 2 years. And so now you are at a place where your business is flourishing from it, but it didn't happen overnight.
Right.
Awesome. So I know you've talked a little bit about that 7-day trial. I want to make sure everybody knows. I'll give you a heads up. It's not easy. I have tried it. It's a workout. You've got to be ready for it, but it's an amazing workout. And if you can't, it's such a wonderful option if you just want to work out at home and you want to be able to do it whenever, or if you travel all the time, like she said. I mean, you can take it with you. You can get it on your phone. You can get it on your laptop, your iPad. You can get it from anywhere. So the link for her free trial is right in her bio, of course, on Instagram. Another great strategy to always make sure that they have that link in your bio. Is there anything else you want to add? I mean, about Bar Alley, tell them a little bit more, or just in general. Is there any closing thoughts?
I think the reason that this has worked, this little venture has worked, is because I really love it. I am bar through and through. I know my stuff. It's what I live and breathe. And I think that relates to a lot of people. I'm not trying to be somebody else. If I didn't have Instagram, if social media didn't exist, I would still be living this same life. And that really reads through, which I think is why people use it as a resource, because they know, like, this girl's committed to it. So I think that's really important when you're starting to build a business. There has to be some passion behind it. And then you just follow it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time, Kendra. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited to launch this episode and give people this information. And if they wanted to connect with you, obviously, Instagram, you are at Bar Alley, BARREALLEY. So obviously, I'll link that as well so people can reach out to you. But is Instagram the easiest way for them to find you? I know you have a Facebook group as well.
Yep, Instagram is probably the quickest response I have. Email kendra@baralley.com. Facebook, of course, also. Instagram is my most efficient point of contact for sure.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Kendra. I really appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.